The new guided VPN-as-a-Service setup in Cloud Secure Edge walks you through a simple 3-step process to establish secure access to private resources. Once the CSE license is activated, you are automatically guided through a setup wizard upon logging into the CSE console. Let's begin with some prerequisites for using VPN-as-a-Service. Firstly, when you plan to deploy a connector with a SonicWall Gen 7 Plus firewall, you need to configure the connector on the firewall. Secondly, if you decide to deploy a standalone connector, you should first install the connector on a Linux, virtual machine, or Windows server. Finally, prepare the private resource for which you want to configure access, such as network access. In this training, we will use the wizard to configure a VPN tunnel through the SonicWall TZ480 firewall. After configuration, end users can access the network located behind the firewall. Please note that the wizard is available only during the initial launch of the CSE console. For the purpose of this demonstration, a new CSE product, SonicSure 03, has been registered under the tenant CSE demo. The SonicWall TZ480 firewall, with the firewall connector configured, is also registered under the same tenant. Notice that Cloud Secure Edge is enabled on the firewall. The connector is also configured without error. Click the Configure icon. The X0 subnet has been added to the connector, allowing the CSE endpoint client to access resources behind the firewall. Next, we will launch CSE through My SonicWall SSO to access the VPN-as-a-Service wizard. Select the Capture Security Center tile. Select Launch to continue. Click the Cloud Secure Edge tile in the Products section. The guided VPN setup wizard is launched. You can click Leave Guided Setup to go to the CSE Management Console. Click Get Started. The wizard guides you through the initial VPN tunnel creation. There are 3 steps to complete the VPN setup: configure network, add users, and deploy the client app. In the Configure Network step, you must select the installation type for your connector, firewall connector, or standalone connector on Linux, virtual machine, or Windows. The firewall that has been placed under the same tenant is displayed in the CSE-compatible firewall table, but its CSE network status shows not connected. Note that to proceed to the next step, you must have the connector ready on your firewall or client server. If the firewall connector is not yet ready, you can refer to the guided video for instructions on how to set it up. In this example, since the connector has been successfully configured on the firewall, the CSE network status will display as connected. Note that the firewall connector has been selected. Click Continue. The settings page for the second step, Add Users, displays on the screen. Now you can invite your first user. We have entered a sample username and an associated email address. Let's now add the user. An email is sent to the user with a new temporary password. In the Deploy the Client app step, you can download and install the CSE app on your desktop or mobile devices. In this demonstration, we will use the Windows Client app. Click Finish and View Summary. The setup is complete. You can now view the configuration summary. Let's check the settings in the Management Console. Click Networks. The configured SonicWall firewall connector is displayed, showing the status as reporting. This means the connector has reported to the command center within the past 7 minutes and has established a connection with each POP. Next, click Private Access in the menu on the left. The configured tunnel appears in the table. When created using the VPN-as-a-Service wizard, it automatically applies the default tunnel policy, which allows all users and devices to access resources behind the firewall. Now let's verify the tunnel connection through CSE Client app. Notice on the screen that the user successfully connected to the CSE Client app. The server tunnel to the corporate internal network is automatically connected.